Welcome to this episode of To The Point. I'm your cruise director of To The Point. Just kidding. I'm your host of To The Point. I'm Eric Mitchell. Welcome back to this amazing segment. We're talking how to survive COVID-19 and everything that is the year of 2020. But for business owners, this is just another year. It's like having just face it, it could be your bad year. But let's also remind you that so many businesses are doing great in 2020. A lot of e-com businesses, direct marketing businesses, affiliate marketers are absolutely crushing it. E-com has never seen numbers like they're seeing. You've never seen this before. Network marketing is the most fascinating thing to so many people. I've heard more people talk about John Maxwell, Dave Ramsey, Grant Cardone, and others over the last 9 months. It's funny, I've been talking about these people forever, and now everybody's like, have you ever heard of this guy called Uncle G? I'm like, Grant Cardone? Yeah, I know who that is. Do you know who Gary Vee is? So, we decided we need to bring our version of the amazing Gary Vee. Instead, we got Gary Smith. So not Gary Vee, but better than Gary Vee. Gary Smith has been with us, and we've been talking about how businesses can adapt to the stress that is everything. And a lot of businesses are freaking out, right, Gary? We've seen it. People are in just an outright panic with 2020, and now COVID, it's just not going away. And people are like, the sky is falling, instead of fixing it. And just understanding they just need to make just a few adjustments and they can keep their business going. And we've seen a lot of businesses learn how to get into the digital space and understand that their marketplace went from brick and mortar to very virtual. So what advice do you give to these business owners as we head into 2021, which we all can't wait to get here? I think everybody's excited for New Year's Eve. As we get to this point, what advice are you giving business owners to be like, okay, end of the year is near. How do you prepare for 2021?
Yeah, I think it again comes down to what we were talking about earlier, Eric, and that is, do you have a purpose? Are you really working toward something? And if not, it's time for you to take stock, take inventory, and figure out not just where you're going, but why do you want to go there? Stephen Covey used to talk about begin with the end in mind. Well, what's the end game for us? And in order to have an end game, we have to have a purpose. We have to have something that we're striving toward. And what I'm recommending to people and having them process through is that I believe that we all have two purposes in life. We have a general purpose and we have a specific purpose. And the general purpose is, what kind of life do you want to live? What kind of difference do you want to make in the world? But the specific purpose is looking at things like, what are my passions? What are my interests in life? And then what skill sets do I have? What abilities do I have? And how do I take all of that and combine it into something that provides value to the marketplace that I want to serve? And as we focus on that, if we focus on that providing value to others, it takes us outside of ourselves and the creative juices start to flow. And we really got the opportunity to create the future that we want. But until we start with that foundational, what it is that I want to do, we're not going to be able to get where we want to be.
Absolutely. I love that you said that, because I think that's very true. Now, it's interesting. You used the words purpose and driven. It's funny because you also have a book called Purpose Driven Achievement. It's funny how we put that all together, and it segues into what we want to talk about. So let's talk about your book. Obviously, for entrepreneurs out there, business owners, it's a book that they need to go get out and get and understand. So where did you come up with Purpose Driven Achievement? Because I absolutely love the title of this book because it's very positive. But kind of give us a background of your book. Don't give away everything. We want people to go out and get this book. So don't give away too much. I mean, make it a cliffhanger. Come on, just tease them.
Okay. All right. Actually, it's interesting because I started working on purpose-driven achievement probably about 9 months before COVID hit. And it was really sort of a God thing as COVID came into place, because it was, the book was coming out. And it really called everybody back to their foundations to say, if something has happened in your life, go back and explore the purpose. And about the first half of the book is dealing with the whole thing of how do you discover your purpose? And it challenges people because discovering purpose is not always an easy thing. You have to dig deep. You have to ask yourself some difficult questions. Sometimes you need to have a friend, a mentor, a coach to be able to help you process through it. But then once we get to that, the sort of the subtitle of the book deals with not just purpose, but energy, planning, and execution. So it's not just a matter of defining your purpose, but then once you've defined it, where do you find the energy to be able to do the things that you need to do? How do you go about effectively planning a pathway from where you are to where you need to be? And how do you go about identifying the gaps that need to be filled? And then how do you execute consistently and with discipline to be able to achieve that plan? So that's really in a nutshell, what the book is all about.
I love that. I can't wait personally to go out and get the book. I'll be leaving my review. And for folks who want to get your book, what's the best way? Are you going to tell me Amazon like everyone else tells me to get your book? Is that the best place for folks to go to get your book?
They can get the book through Amazon, or the best thing for them to do is just go to my website, Gary, middle initial L, Smith.com. And you can see not only my book there, you can click the link over to Amazon from there, but you can see the other books that I've written, and you can find out more about me and reach out to me if there's anything I can do to help you.
I love it. You are an amazing guest, Gary. I love your positivity, and I love the way that you look. Again, it's that engineer thing. I absolutely love it because you break down the way that it's supposed to be and think of it from a different angle. Engineers, you guys, it's like that, you always hear it when they talk about NASA, that there's just people sitting around in rooms just thinking things up for people in another room to kind of think up and turn into something that makes a lot of sense. And we call that the space program now. So it's always entertaining to have an engineer on. You guys think way outside the box, and I enjoy it because as we're trying to adapt to where we're headed, and we can all say businesses has changed so much because of COVID, I think people need to know that there's positivity out there. They can grab your book and understand that they're not alone, that we're all rowing together in the same boat. Everybody just needs to grab an oar and just row, and we'll do just fine together, and we'll make it through this together, and there's people to help you. And I think that's, Gary, what you're saying. I appreciate you taking the time today to joining us here on To The Point. So, Gary, I can't thank you enough, my friend. I can't wait to get your book, and I encourage everybody out there in Listenerville to make sure you go and grab Gary's book. Well, he has several books, but his latest book is Purpose-Driven Achievement. So make sure you go do that. Just head over to Gary's site. We will have the link below for you to click, drive you straight there, grab his book, and then, of course, leave a review on Amazon for him, because these guys write books. They want you to give them a good review. So read it. If it helps your business, we'd love to learn. So if you do find out that you do that and you're watching this show and you're like years later, please let us know if the book helped you. So that'd be great. So Gary, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Very good, Eric. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Oh, thanks. And everybody else, check out our next segment coming up, and we'll be back with you real soon.